Hey everybody. In this video, we are going to create a subscription input for websites. It's used when someone wants others to subscribe to their newsletter or something else. So you can see a purple input with a button to the right side which says subscribe. It also has some features like when you click on the input, the color of the border changes, and also when you hover over the subscribe button, its background color changes, and that's what we will create today. So let's start, but before starting, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So let's dive in. We will start with the HTML file. The first thing is the body element. Inside the body, we have a div that uses a class called input container. This div is going to act as a wrapper that holds our form elements and keeps them aligned next to each other. Inside this container, we first have an input element. The type is set to email, which means the browser knows this field is meant for email style input. It also has a class called input, which we will style later using CSS. The placeholder text says yourwebsite.com, so the user sees a hint inside the field before typing. Autocomplete is turned off, so the browser does not suggest saved values. Right after that, we have another input element, but this one acts like a button. Its value says subscribe and the type is submit. This will be the clickable button next to the input field. Now let us move into the CSS to make changes to our input and the button, and we are going to begin with the body styles. The height is set to 100 viewport height, so the body takes up the full screen. Display is set to flex, which allows us to easily center content. We use justify content center and align items center, so everything is perfectly centered both horizontally and vertically on the page. The margin is set to 0 to remove default spacing. Finally, the background color is set to a very dark gray, giving us a clean, dark layout. Next, we style the input container itself. This container uses display flex, which places its children in a row by default. Align items is set to center, so the input field and the button line up nicely along the vertical axis. This makes the whole form look clean and balanced. Now we move on to the input class, which targets the email field. The minimum height is set to 50 pixels, so the input feels tall and easy to interact with. The max width is 150 pixels, which keeps it compact. Padding is applied on the left and right using 1 rem, so the text inside does not touch the edges. The text color is set to white, and the font size is 15 pixels, which keeps it readable against the dark background. A border is applied with 1 pixel thickness and a solid style using a purple tone. The border radius is rounded only on the left side, which helps it visually connect with the button later. The background color is set to transparent, so the dark page background shows through the input field. Now we style the submit button using the bn submit class. Just like the input field, the minimum height is set to 50 pixels, so both elements match in height. Padding is applied using half an EM on the top and bottom and 1 M on the left and right, which gives the button comfortable spacing. The border is removed completely, so the button looks modern and clean. The border radius is rounded on the right side only, which pairs perfectly with the rounded left side of the input. The background color uses the same purple tone as the input border, which keeps the design consistent. The text color is set to white, and the font size is 15 pixels, so it matches the input text. The cursor is set to pointer, so the user gets a visual cue that the button is clickable. A transition is added for the background color that lasts 0.3 seconds, with an ease and out timing function, which makes hover changes feel smooth. Next, we have the hover state styling for the button. This selector targets button submit on hover and changes the background color slightly. The color becomes a bit lighter, which gives visual feedback when the user moves the mouse over the button. This works together with the transition we defined earlier, so the change feels smooth instead of instant. Finally, we style the focus states for the input field. This applies when the user clicks inside the input or navigates to it using the keyboard. Both focus and focus visible are covered, so the behavior is consistent across browsers. The border color changes to a bright blue, which clearly shows that the input is active. The outline is removed, so we do not see the default browser outline and instead rely on our custom border styling. At this point, all CSS properties have been applied and the form is fully styled. The result is a centered email input with a connected subscribe button on a dark background. Clean spacing, smooth interactions, and clear focus feedback for usability. And that's it for today's video, bro. If you liked the video, consider liking this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. See you in the next one. Have fun.